How's it guys? So it's yeah, but keep it rolling, keep it rolling. How's it guys? Jack here. So today I'm with Kirsty from SANCCOB. Kirsty, pleased to meet you.
Great to meet you too.
Thank you. So a couple of weeks ago I was out here fishing with my mate Roach from Pro Expert, and he told me about SANCCOB, which I hadn't really heard of, and it really interested me. I came through on Saturday, and I must say, from my first visit, I was absolutely blown away by the facilities, the professionalism, the neatness, the general care and upkeep of the facility. And then after asking a few more questions, I got informed that it's actually a NGO, it's not a government funding. So to see what you guys have done here, just by the funds raised, is incredible. Could you tell us a bit more about it? Because like myself, I didn't really know anything about SANCCOB, so if you could just give a few bits of information, general overlay, just so that the audience can know a little bit more.
Okay, definitely. So like you said, I'm Kirsty, so I do marketing and fundraising for SANCCOB here in the Eastern Cape. Basically SANCCOB, we are a penguin and seabird hospital. We are a rehabilitation centre and we're located here in the Cape Receive Nature Reserve. Our organisation, we're an NGO like you did mention, so we receive no funding from government.
Yes.
All of our money comes to rehabilitate these birds, comes from corporate funding, members of the public, our fundraising events and all of that. But SANCCOB, we were established in the 1960s, late in the 1960s, so back then. It's been around for more than 50 years.
Brilliant.
And basically started in Cape Town by a lady called Alethea Westphal. And she basically started rehabilitating African penguins, which is the only penguin species to be found in Africa. So only place we find it is in South Africa and in Namibia. So she basically started the organization, and then from there our center where we based, we were first SAMREC. So we were an education and seabird marine education center, and then in 2017 we amalgamated with SANCCOB, so we became SANCCOB basically took over, and then we started the rehabilitation on this side as well, or continued with it rather. So it's very expensive to rehabilitate these birds. It's not an easy task, it's a hard task. Takes a lot of long hours dedication from our rehabbers. But currently what we're spending a day to feed our African penguins and our other seabirds here, so those are like Cape Canaries that we have in turn sometimes. So it's currently we're spending 725 rand a day, just a day,
just
for the
on
birds,
feeding.
and just on feeding.
And that's not paying wages, staff, water.
Not at all.
That's just the feeding.
And that's just the feeding, and then with the birds alone, it's also the additional cost of veterinary care, medication, all of those things. Then there's the operational costs that also come into play. And then annually, twice a year, usually we have our chick crisis. So basically, with our chick crisis, what happens is we get birds from Bird Island, which is out here in Algoa Bay. And we have a ranger who lives on the island. So he monitors the island for sick or injured birds or oiled birds. And then he will bring them to the center if need be. And so that they can be rehabilitated here. So usually what happens when we have hectic rainstorms in the Algoa Bay, their nest would flood on Bird Island. So those chicks would need to be rescued. And I always say to our visitors that it's not like with the human, you can pick up your kid and say, let's go, our house is flooding. Sometimes what happens on the island is the nest flood, parents would have to abandon their chicks or just leave them behind.
And it's in nature, so there's a lot of obviously noises, there's different smells, there's panic that sets in, the sound, obviously they can't communicate like a heavy rain, thunder, so like you say, it's not just come, let's go.
Let's go. So then that's the important reason why we have a ranger monitoring. So he would then rescue the penguins they brought here. And then, so early in the year, in about April to August period, we had over 104 at the time. Little chicks. And at the time with the numbers eventually came down, and they stay here for about 3 to 4 months. So that is about 80 rand a day also per chick.
For the little ones.
Yeah, for the little ones.
And
So it's a lot of money.
And you've got an adoption program, I believe,
Yes.
where you can adopt a little chick or a rescue penguin.
Yes.
Can you tell me a bit more about that? Because that's really interesting. I saw some of the photos and it's something I'm interested in as well.
Awesome. So our Adopt a Penguin campaign, I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
So basically what we do is you get to select a penguin of your choice in our center.
Yeah.
A rehab penguin, so that's a penguin from the wild.
Yeah.
So Bird Island, sometimes they're rescued from Jeffreys Bay or Cape St. Francis.
Yeah.
So you get to adopt them for 600 Rand.
Brilliant.
And your funds or your donation, as we call it, then goes into a pool of money that goes towards the food, the veterinary care, and whatever else the penguin needs while undergoing rehab.
And then I saw you also get like a nice adoption certificate, everything. Can you tell us a bit more about that in terms of the feedback that the audience gets? So, for example, when they adopt a penguin, how do they track their penguin, or how do they see how the penguin's doing? Is there not a portal, app of some sort, or how does that work in terms of getting feedback?
Okay, so like you said, when you adopt a penguin, you'll get a certificate, and then we'll tell you where the bird came from, what was wrong with the bird. So was it a shark attack, seal attack, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And then when our birds are released here, we inject transponders into them.
Yeah.
So that's just to keep track of their coming and going sometimes on the island, just to look at penguin numbers, because African penguins are an endangered species.
Yeah.
Right?
How many are left in the wild?
Okay, so we only have over 10,000 breeding pairs left in the whole in South Africa,
okay.
And then just under 5,000 in Namibia. But in the early 1900s, we had 2 million African penguins breeding pairs.
So they're
now
really
down.
under threat.
Yeah, they're under threat.
And okay, so we'll touch on that a bit more. That's obviously something that we all need to get involved in and do our little part, because if we all do 1%, it adds up in the long run.
Definitely.
Back to the adoption, which is really, really cool. So you'll put a microchip in it so that when it's released, if it comes back in, you'll get a notification saying
this is a readmission.
Your penguin came back in. So there's no live tracking, guys. It's not an acoustic tag per se. It's just a microchip basically, so that we can track the penguin, and 2 years time it came back in, it got sick again, and it's your personal penguin. And if you want to give it a bit more pilchards, a bit more love and care, that's what we wanted to do here. Yeah,
definitely. And people are also more than welcome to then reach out to me, because we do have a database. So if you've adopted a penguin in our center and a month or two later you want to know if your penguin is still in our care, we have a database. So I would then check for you, you'd give me your penguin number, and I'd be able to tell you, you've maybe named it Rocket. Rocket was released just last Friday. Thank you for your contribution. Is what we'll tell you. Or Rocket is still in our care, but he's doing really good.
Or he's battling to put on weight. We suggest you maybe put him on a high fatty diet, but unfortunately it's going to cost us much. Okay, cool. Let's get him some lekker pilchards and some oils.
People are welcome to adopt as many times as they want to or as they're able to. So you're not limited.
And is it one penguin per individual? I mean, it's not going to be a case of the one penguin's adopted by 40 different people and it's not really personal anymore, is it?
So no, usually we update our penguin system all the time.
Okay, so there's a lot of vacant penguins, let's put it that way.
Then we've also got our home pen penguins, so those are permanent residents in our center.
Are those all adopted as well already, or still...
those we usually find that they get readopted, but like I'm saying, because they stay here, they constantly need to eat, they always need to eat,
so maybe, so that's more of a yearly cycle. You adopt Batman, I'm sure he's got quite a few sponsors.
Yes, and Douglas, for example, is also another character of ours. And then we've got BB. BB's blind in both eyes, so obviously we can't release her back into the wild. So those adopting a home penguin then cost 1,000 Rand.
Okay, because it's home and it's here for the full duration, obviously.
Of their life.
And guys, from my side, it's something really, really close to my heart, nature, as you guys know. And this is probably the first time I've ever got involved with an NGO or a conservation based initiative, which I'm really excited about. And we're just going to speak a little bit about the initiative that we're launching this Friday with SANCCOB. We've done a range of designs here, African skins, as you know. We've brought out the turtle design, the penguin design, and the seal design. They're going to be available from SANCCOB. They're going to be available at Pro Expert as well in Walmer and Port Elizabeth, and they'll be available online with banana skins. every sale of these caps, 25 Rand is going to be donated back to SANCCOB. It's the least we can do. Every wholesale that Pro Expert purchases from us, they've agreed to put 25 Rand as well. Thank you very much, Pro Expert. That is a really, really awesome initiative there as well. And yeah, it's something that I'm really keen to see where we can go with it, where we can grow it. At the end of the day, we only get one shot at this life, and all we're going to leave behind is dust. So let's try to leave behind a little bit more than that. Let's leave behind a footprint of a bit of a legacy. And like I say, I always elaborate on it. It's about the 1%ers. Do your 1%, and if the next person does his 1%, the next person, end of the day, it adds up. Yeah. So from our side, Kirst, thank you very much for your time. I'm looking forward to a prolonged relationship and seeing what we can do with SANCCOB, creating awareness with Pro Expert, calling on our business associates, business colleagues to get behind an awesome initiative, guys. From our side, it's backed by Jack. I'm more than happy to put my name attached to SANCCOB. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, and yeah, looking forward to what's going to come from it. If there's anything else you'd like to say, Kirst, let us know, and yeah.
Awesome. So you can definitely follow us on SANCCOB Eastern Cape. We're available on Facebook and as well as Twitter and Instagram. And then we also open for tours 7 days a week. So bring your families, bring your friends.
Schools as well.
Yeah, we've got awesome educational programs here for the kids. So also come through. And I don't think our prices are expensive at all. It's 35 Rand or 30 Rand rather for children and senior citizens.
The pricing is phenomenal. And guys, end of the day is when people hackle about pricing and this and this and this, what I say to them is, okay, for example, say it was 100 Rand, for example, to come through for 3 hours. Gee, it's expensive. No, but you're willing to spend 100 Rand on beer, but you're not willing to spend 100 Rand on nature.
On an experience,
so that's what so that's what I value things on, in terms of, we're more than happy to spend money on ourselves and leisure and all these sort of things, but when it comes to nature, we tend to be like, I'll give 50 Rand here versus, but no. If we don't start doing our 1%ers, what we see out there in nature, we've seen it in my short time. I mean, I'm 34 and I've seen over my 20 years how it's declined and the negative effects humans have had on it. And let's be honest, humans are the cause of it all. So now we've got to try and say, okay, we've caused it. How can we try and pull it back as far as we can, and how we can make a difference? So yeah, I'll be sharing the rates, the prices, I'll be sharing the information, email addresses, I'll be doing my part and sending it all through to my schools and contacts. I know, as well, to say, guys, this is really an experience that, I mean, we used to do excursions back in the day at schools, and it was one of my highlights of my school career as a lighty, going through to, it wasn't really a cool thing. Now you look back at it, zoos, I don't really agree with zoos, but a rehabilitation centre like this is something that I really do back. We used to do the train rides and all those sort of things, which is a really good experience, the farm outings, the camping on the farms. So yeah, guys, if there's anyone out there, schools, corporates, get hold of Kirst, get hold of SANCCOB. Let's start making a difference. Lekker, guys. Kirst, from my side, thank you very much.
Great.
Looking forward to sharing a coffee soon again.
Definitely.
Lekker. Thanks, Pro Expert, as well, for initiating this. Without you guys, without Pro Expert, I wouldn't be here. So from our side, thank you very much.
So we are so thankful.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Lekker. Cheers.